Rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs in court this week for his federal sex trafficking trial. The courtroom was filled with testimony, tears, and much more. Friend of Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, Brianna Bongolan, telling the court that Diddy once dangled her off a balcony on the 17th floor and that she also saw Combs throw a knife at Ventura. A former Diddy assistant going by the pseudonym Jane testifying that Diddy sex trafficked her and she felt obligated to do what he told her because he had financial control over her. Also this week, the judge threatening to remove Diddy from the courtroom because he was seen nodding and trying to make eye contact with the jury, they believe, something that is strictly forbidden. Joining us now to talk more is the former federal prosecutor and president and co-founder of West Coast Trial Lawyers, Neama Rahmani. Great to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you too, Anna. Big week in the Combs trial this week as we wrap up week 4.
100%. Let's start with the jury. What impact could Diddy's actions have on the outcome of the trial?
Well, they're huge, and not just in the courtroom, but outside the courtroom. Obviously, Judge Subramanian took issue with him nodding to jurors. Like you said, that's an absolute no-no. And Combs has really expressed his approval or disapproval by shaking his head or nodding when witnesses have testified. It started with George Kaplan, who was a former assistant, and then it continued with Bonna Bongolan. And the defense scored some points during her cross-examination. She gave inconsistent accounts of when that balcony incident happened, who was present, even where it was. Was it an apartment or a hotel? So obviously Combs was happy, but you can't communicate with the jurors directly, whether it's verbal or nonverbal. And also, we heard testimony from Jane, but it wasn't just her testimony. We got in recordings of the freak-offs, and for the first time, we were hearing Combs' own voice directing some of the sex workers, and we heard Jane ask them to use a condom, and Combs say no. So I thought that was good testimony that we got in.
And let's talk a little bit more about Diddy and the potential for him to be removed from the courtroom. What kind of impact would that have on his defense? I mean, we know that one of the reasons that he was behind bars ahead of this trial was because there were concerns over potential witness tampering there, too. So would that impact the defense?
It would severely impact the defense. And look, it's possible that he can be removed and tried in absentia, but it's not going to happen. That's going to create a huge appellate issues. Sometimes these judges, they bark more than they bite. He wants to send a message to Combs and his defense team to get their act together, but I can't imagine him actually removing Combs from the courtroom unless the conduct is so egregious or disruptive, because all of a sudden, if he's convicted, when he's convicted, then you're looking at a really good basis for appeal.
Yeah, perhaps just a little nudge to shape up. All right, former federal prosecutor and president and co-founder of West Coast Trial Lawyers, Neama Rahmani. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, Anna. Talk to you soon.
All right, 20 minutes before the top of the hour.